Dozens of people are searching for a missing hiker in the gorge.
21-year-old Riley Zickel set out on an overnight hike by himself.
Colorado County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing hiker on the Olympic Peninsula.
John and Trevor Higgins, the father and son, were last seen Friday. They disappeared while hunting near Bear Camp Road above Agnes.
21-year-old Riley Zickel, the senior at Lewis and Clark College, disappeared.
An emotional plea from friends of a woman who is missing right now in the Skamania County wilderness. She's 19 years old, Maureen Kelly.
Searchers are looking for a 76-year-old farmer who did not come back from mushroom hunting near Grangeville.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Pacific Northwest Missing Persons Project. I'm your host Tanner Hoskins, Executive Director here at Pacific Northwest Missing Persons Project, or how I like to just say it, PNWMPP. In this week's episode, we are going to delve a little bit into the theory realm of what could have possibly occurred to the person that has gone missing. And this will now be included in almost every episode that we do. I believe that it is important for you, the listener, to be able to better understand how we perceive these cases every time that we enter the field. Now, I'm also going to include a lot of the theories that are mentioned to us in our emails. And some of those theories we personally do not believe occur, but it is worth noting because so many of our listeners reach out and tell us, oh, it was a UFO, it was Bigfoot, it was this or that. And I believe that it's important to share the facts of what we can find out through our networking with other individuals, other organizations, including that of the North American UFO Reporting Center, also known as newforc.org, NUFORC.org. With all of that being said, let's delve into this week's episode. Samantha Sam Sire was a 27-year-old woman who went on a solo hiking trip into the Vesper Peak area of the North Cascades in the Mount Baker-Snohomish National Forest on August 1st of 2018. Sam was originally from Girard, Pennsylvania, a small town near the area of Lake Erie, but moved to Seattle, Washington after falling in love with the city and with the Pacific Northwest itself. Sam was a tall, slender white female, standing at about 5 foot 8 inches tall, weighing about 125 pounds, and was one tough outdoorsman. Sam was very experienced as a day hiker and had the knowledge to keep herself safe and alive in nearly any form of terrain, but would never go off trail. On July 30th of 2018, Sam attempted to find someone in her friend group that may have been interested in hiking with her on August 1st. Sam had posted to her Facebook page of her intentions to tackle Vesper Peak. She described the route as taking about 8 miles round trip with a 4,200-foot elevation gain. Sam also stated in her post that spikes for shoes were recommended and the hike was not for beginners. Vesper Peak is a 6,221-foot tall mountain along the Mountain Loop Highway region of the North Cascades of Washington State. This trail is truly no easy feat. The hike consists of mixed rock climbing, mountain climbing, and scrambling steep terrain. Despite the steep terrain, the mountain is described as having a gentle south and east slope with a sheer north face. Two of the most popular trails in the area are the Sunrise Mine Trail and the Vesper Peak Trail. Sam took the Sunrise Mine Trail on August 1st, 2018 on her own. Sam was last seen wearing dark gray pants and a maroon hoodie. Sam was also carrying 2 hiking poles, a blue backpack, a beige sun hat, and a dark gray wool beanie. Sam stood, like I said, at about 5 foot 8 inches tall and weighed close to 125 pounds. Sam has green eyes and Sam is bald due to alopecia. Sam also has a tattoo of a tree on her back and tattoos of stars on the side of her head. Sam arrived on the mountain somewhere between 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m., signed a wilderness permit, and began her ascent up to the peak. Around mid-morning, other hikers in the area reported that they saw Sam on the trail. Additional hikers later stated that they saw Sam eating lunch near the summit while watching rock climbers in the area. Some of those hikers also stated that when they saw Sam at about 3 p.m. on August 1st, instead of heading eastbound back to the trailhead where her vehicle was located, Sam began heading southbound. By 7 p.m., Kevin hadn't heard from Sam, 1 hour after she had stated she'd be off the mountain and make contact with him. Kevin took to the road and drove to the trailhead and arrived somewhere around 9:30 p.m. and was horrified to see Sam's vehicle parked there. Instantly, Kevin knew something was wrong. Kevin took to the trail. It was about 9:30 p.m. and was extremely dark. It's reported that Kevin made it up to the Sunrise Mine Trail roughly 3 miles in before his flashlight broke and he had to travel back down the mountain using the camera on his cell phone. It would take a few more miles of driving before he would locate a payphone in the area and be able to call for assistance. The first call to 911 reporting Sam missing came in around 1 a.m. on August 2nd. By about 7 a.m. on August 2nd, search and rescue efforts began. Search efforts would include world-renowned tracker Fernando Moreira joining the search along with mountaineering groups from the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office and other search and rescue organizations. Canine teams, FLIR cameras, drones, and ground searchers would scour the area for 22 days before the official search and rescue effort would be called off. Only one possible clue was located: a solo boot print. Snohomish County Sheriff's Office stated that in the 3 weeks they searched for Sam, 357 hours of air operations, 105 hours of drone operation, 82 hours of marine unit operations, and 329 hours of search and rescue ground crews had been utilized. There are a few theories as to what could have happened on Vesper Peak in the time that Sam disappeared. It is highly unlikely that Sam voluntarily vanished. Is it possible that Sam met someone with malicious intent while she was on her hike? Could this explain why Sam headed southbound if she knew that her vehicle was east? Did somebody on the trail make her uncomfortable and she decided to try a different route down the mountain? Sam had ascended this mountain in the past. She had been to the summit on her own. Maybe she was just searching for new scenery. But when it comes to possible human-related factors, this is why our team encourages everyone entering the wilderness, no matter what recreational activity you're taking part in, to carry a firearm. A pistol on the hip can help you make it home. All right, let's say that we rule out the idea that human involvement played a part in Sam's disappearance. Let's look at the terrain. The terrain in this area is extremely challenging. There's possibility that Sam experienced a tragic accident involving a fall from one of the cliffs on the mountain, or could have slid too far down one of the many steep slopes that the hikers need to scramble to get up. While the steep, rugged conditions could have come into play, this area is also scattered with deadfall and raging streams. Is it possible that Sam encountered slick terrain and fell into one of the many crevices in the area? So let's say human involvement wasn't the factor. The terrain wasn't the factor. This section of the North Cascades is home to a lot of apex predators, ranging from wolves, black bears, grizzlies in some parts, wolverines, mountain lions, lynx, and bobcats. And you can't forget the many reports that our team gets at Pacific Northwest Bigfoot Search regarding Sasquatch incidents and encounters in the area, some of them including aggressive behavior reported by witnesses. Any one of these creatures could take down a human if the animal was hungry enough. In August, Food sources for wildlife should not really be too limited, but you never know how wildlife may react when confronted with a solo hiker, a lost hiker, or an injured hiker. This is also why we always encourage our listeners to carry bear spray with you. No matter what animal you end up face to face with, bear spray will usually send them scrambling away from you once that can deploys its orange mist. While we're on the subject of taking certain items with you, it is imperative that you also take a personal locator beacon. At the push of a button, search and rescue is alerted that you need assistance and can be on the way. When cell phones are going to fail, when you can't call out, the best thing you can carry is a personal locator beacon. Please, there is no amount of money that goes into a beacon or the monthly subscription that it requires to know that you have a fighting chance to make it home to your friends and family. If you're a recreationalist of any kind, please buy one and pack one. Now, many of you have also asked me through our podcast about UFO sightings when somebody goes missing. In the North Cascades, it's home to a lot of UFO sightings and other strange, unexplained aerial phenomena. So, I took a couple of hours diving into UFO reports from the Washington area, utilizing our good friends at newfork.org website, that is NUFORC.org. And I took time to search for the dates of August 1st through August 3rd of 2018, and this is what I came up with. There was only one UFO sighting in the area during that stretch. It was over Wenatchee, Washington, and was reported to be an elongated tube with bright flashing blue lights visible across the sky for a few seconds. This is the only reported UFO activity that I could narrow down in Washington state that could have been within the area. While it cannot be ruled out, any strange incident that occurred in the area where someone has gone missing needs to be looked into. When humans vanish without a trace, where canine teams and advanced search and rescue operations and technology cannot seem to find any clues, there comes a time to look into other, harder to explain factors. I'd like to remind you all that even though Sam has now been missing just over 6 years, it is important to keep an eye out for anything that might stand out, whether it's clothing, gear, or bones, as I always mention in this podcast. It is important to remain vigilant of the area around you. There's a good chance, though still unconfirmed, that Christopher Zitzowitz, who has been missing for 11 years, may have been located by someone paying attention to their surroundings. Please, if you plan to be in the area of Vesper Peak in the North Cascades, please keep an eye out for a blue backpack, 2 hiking poles, a maroon hoodie, dark gray hiking pants, and a wool beanie. Thank you for tuning in this week. As always, before you go recreating in the Pacific Northwest, please become familiar with the missing persons cases in the area that you plan to recreate in. You can do so by checking our website at pnwmpp.org and reviewing the map that you can find on our homepage. You never know when you might locate something that brings answers or closure to a grieving family. Thank you.